Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
the weaker vessel. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, I'm just leaving Target, trying not to die because the USPS mail truck almost cut me off.
Girl, I told you my struggle this morning. What is it with people?
Oh no. Lila's in the car with me. Say hi, Lila. Hi.
Hey. Oh, goodness. It's
So,
crazy.
Seeing a massive mail truck flying at my firstborn isn't exactly fun.
Oh, come on. It just brings all the excitement back to her birth, right?
Yeah, right. Anyway, we were on the hunt for black napkins because we are hosting Sabbath on Sunday, and I wanted matching black napkins because Walmart actually, here's a little, special tip, has 4 black napkins for like $5 and some cents. So I can't even make napkins for that cheap,
Yeah.
$5. And I think, is that what I said? $5? Oh, I meant $5 and some cents. I don't know what I said. Whatever it is, like super cheap.
It's
So,
cheap.
can you hear me okay? You're on my car phone.
Yes, I can hear you okay.
Okay, I hope we don't get any weird feedback. Anyway, so I think we've had this discussion before that when I buy in quantities of like 25 or 30. And I'm trying to really aim for 30 because I usually have around like...
It does sound like the microphone is like hitting against something a little bit.
Let's see. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds more good. Yes, that's much better.
Okay.
I didn't even notice it until you asked me. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, clearly we know what we're doing here. So, anyway, of course, the first Walmart I go to, they have like 4 packages. And I'm like, sweet. Like, these are probably just put out. I'm going to go ahead and go to another Walmart and like go and get like, maybe 4 more. Well, I go to the other Walmart in my area and they only have 1 package.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway, we went to Target, but I found 1 package of black napkins at Target. They're not exactly matched because like one of them are hemmed and one of them are like raw. But honestly, on a table, I think it'll be fine.
Gotcha.
So anyway, this is the plight in my life right now.
Well, I took Henry to physical therapy, and he has his helmet off officially. He only has to wear it at night for the next month. So, woo-woo. I know, so exciting little things happening, And he had therapy today, and now we are at home, and I am waiting for maintenance to come to fix a couple things. So here we are. That was the excitement of my morning.
Well, congratulations to Henry's head.
I know. Now he has a round head.
No more flathead Henry jokes.
No more flat-headed Henrys. We got to find something else, And I'm sure his brother and sister in time that they will all find something to tease him about.
Oh, it's so funny.
So how was your Christmas?
I was gonna say, have we even talked since like the holidays?
No, I think everything just got chaotic there for a minute. All the things happening, and yeah, we haven't recorded or anything. I mean, me and you have talked like in passing, but
right.
But yeah, no, we haven't recorded anything.
My holidays were fantastic. I loved having Christmas on a Sunday this year. It was really fun. We had a Christmas Eve service and a Christmas Day service, so it really felt like the whole weekend was like devoted to Christmas, which I thought was really special. And yeah, it was just it was very relaxed. Like, we just had us and my younger brother, and yeah, it was just chill and relaxed, and the kids had fun, and we came home and opened gifts after church, and it was really, I don't know, it was very calm and peaceful, and we played games, and it was really nice. How was yours?
Well, ours was good. Only half of us went to church because everybody got sick. Everybody's been sick.
The sickness hit you.
There? Are you there? I had a call come in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're good.
But yeah, everybody got sick. So we have been dealing with sickness, but my husband and my two middlest went to church on Christmas, and then my oldest was sick, and I stayed at home with him and took care of him. And then and then it's just slowly went through the whole house. Naomi ended up with strep, and but you know, I mean, for everybody being sick, it wasn't like everybody like vomiting sick, you know, that's like a whole thing, but it was just like one after another have been getting sick. And I think we are finally starting to see the other side of it.
Good.
And because like no more fevers and stuff. So I'm like, please, Lord, can we all be healthy by this weekend? Can we have healthy? But you know, I feel like everybody has like that one Christmas where like everybody got sick. And I think we just finally hit ours. Which, I mean, if you think about it, I have a 17-year-old. So, like, technically, we've done really well for, like, the last 17 years. Nobody has been sick on Christmas.
Right.
It finally hit.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I have a 17-year-old now. That happened, too.
Yeah, January 3rd.
Yeah, he turned 17. And so I'm
technically,
old.
like, next year, you're going to have an adult child.
I know, it's like I'm so happy but so sad at the same time.
It's your last
it's
child.
It's a weird thing because you know, you're always told that when your kids hit the teenage years, like it's just so hard and stuff. And there have been like little things where, you know, I mean, they're kids still, so you're still teaching them. They're young adults, you know, you're still molding them to some degree and teaching them. But honestly, I mean, like, I enjoy being around my son. He's a joy to be around. He can have, you know, conversate well and joke, and, you know, it's been a joy. I think the hard part is like it's like one more year, and then technically if he wants to move out and he's ready for all that, then he's good. I think right now he wants to live at home while he goes to college. So we'll probably have him around, you know, a little bit longer possibly, but we'll see what he decides to do at the end of the day, you know.
Right.
It is a weird thing, though.
Another thing that happened to both of us, we don't want to get into details. Like, let's try and avoid as much detail as possible. But on both of our ends, we have both experienced some pretty hard providences going into the new year. We always joke, like it's like our personal joke with each other that the January is coming. And January's
always, I was gonna say January's always tend to be hard for us, and I don't think it's, I mean, you know, they always say like the January is like coming off of the Christmas high, which is a thing, but I feel like for some reason there's always something pretty big that happens to both of us in January.
Yeah.
And it's always something that's, you know, very heartfelt,
like
very saddening. Yeah.
Style. Yeah. We're obviously not superstitious in saying like, oh, January's coming, it's a bad month. But it's just like we both lost. Like I lost my dad in January, the same year you lost your grandmother in January. I don't know. It just kind of always seems like when January's come, it's just how the Lord has it worked out for us. Maybe there's some like extra things to teach us come January, but it always seems to work out that January is kind of hard for us.
Yeah, it's always something different. It's not always like a death or anything like that. It's just, I always kind of feel like God's like, okay, maybe you didn't get this lesson, so let me give you one big not harsh one, but like one big one right here to kind of, you know, maybe knock it into your head. I don't know, but yeah, it has definitely been a January this year too, where we've had to make some hard decisions, and they weren't easy, but we made them, and they weren't easy decisions. For the record,
in case anyone is like worried about us, like we're not dying, we're not like
no, it's nothing like that.
We're fine, but they're extra hardships, and I feel like everyone can relate to that to some extent, whether it comes in January or June or whatever. Like there are times in your life where you know, like this is a pivotal point for us, and like this will mark time in a very special way. or like a very unique way. Anyway, and so like we both kind of walked through one of those seasons in the last 2 weeks going into the new year. And anyway, it was funny because while you were sick and like while, you know, we had stuff going on and whatever, we just sort of talked about like, you know, walking through trials and walking through hardships and like what was going to be the title? Peppermint showers and chicken butt feathers? Is that what we're gonna call it?
Oh yes. Yes. January showers and chicken butt feathers.
Yeah, peppermint showers, yeah. It's funny because like they've all been sick over there and the trial has something to do with you guys being sick, but it didn't help. Being sick during trial.
Yeah.
But I had
it was just decisions that it was life-changing decisions in the aspect of what our family would do or where our family would kind of go, that we had to make some decisions.
Right. And your kids were sick and they were like kind of congested, and I was like, oh, you should throw a couple drops of peppermint oil into like a hot shower because it'll kind of open up your sinuses and whatever, drain some of that ickiness.
Which honestly like made a big difference. So if you're needing something like that, like it was, and all my kids loved it too. They were like, oh, and it smells so nice.
Right.
So
it's true. And obviously like that doesn't take away the sickness, but it does make you more comfortable like going through a sickness, right? It kind of like, it just sort of is it's an aid to getting through a hard time. Mm-hmm. And so while that was going on, I was dealing with my chickens, and we had chickens and ducks, and I'm pretty sure that my ducks were pulling out my chickens' tail feathers, and I have several bare butt chickens right now. It's not funny, it's actually really sad. Which
also was not like the big trial for you either, but it was just an added thing that you were trying to like, okay, my poor chickens, who is doing this to them, which chicken or duck or whatnot, like I got to figure this out. Right. And it was like, yeah.
Exactly. So
like you need peppermint showers and your poor chicken butt.
And so the grand solution to that, like we, after, you know, a few days of kind of watching them a little bit more, you know, closely and whatever, we discovered that it was the ducks, because even the rooster had some of his feathers plucked out. And like typically, I mean, I don't know a ton about chickens, but like the rooster is the top of the pecking order. So, I mean, most roosters are not going to deal with a hen, you know, being aggressive with them. So then we figured it was the ducks, because the ducks had all their feathers. So the grand solution there was to just get rid of the ducks. Like, we don't need the ducks. The ducks are just for fun. So the ducks went to live on a really happy farm, and they have an eternal pond and lots of friends. So got rid of the ducks altogether. Now hopefully my chickens can grow their tail feathers back, and we don't have bare butt chickens. So it was just kind of funny. We were like laughing because I was like, well, sometimes the solution is just like a peppermint shower, and you just have to like do your best to get through. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just like get rid of the duck. You know, just get rid of the problem. You don't have to just like
sit here and have your butt feathers taken.
Yeah, if you're a bare butt chicken, just get rid of the duck.
Oh, and it just shows, that's just like kind of life in a nutshell.
Right, and it's hard when you're walking through those things though, because sometimes it's hard to know like, what is it that I need to do? Because I don't want to get rid of the ducks if I don't have to. Like, I like my ducks, and if we can keep the ducks, I mean, that'd be great. But it's 6 degrees outside, and I also need my chickens to have tail feathers, you know?
Yeah.
Tail feathers are kind of important when it's 6 degrees outside.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to decide, like, do I just sit here congested and suffering, or do I get into the hot shower with a little bit of peppermint oil and maybe get some of this to loosen up, and I'll still be sick, but I'll be a little bit more comfortable.
Right. How much of this are we doing to ourselves because we're not taking the solution, or not even a solution, but we're not taking comfort where we should? And anyway, I just think about this, like, obviously every analogy breaks down, right? But I mean, there are so many things where it's like we are we're living with sin, or we're living with certain things that are just like hindering us, and they don't need to. And so you just get rid of the duck. And then there are times when it's like, but this is just a hardship, and it could be like a physical ailment, it could just be a temporary situation, and there's nothing you can do about it besides take the peppermint shower, which means like go to God's word, right? Find encouragement, find rest, find solace where we're promised to find it. And we don't do that. Instead, we just sit around in our spiritual congestion, miserable, and God's word is right there. You know, we can actually just go to him for comfort, and it doesn't take the problem away. Like, as Christians, we're not like, you don't believe in a prosperity gospel where if you're a Christian, everything's easy for you. But we do know that
God
God's
has
word
us
gets us
through. Yeah, he gets us through, but also God has a reason for allowing us to go through such times. Sometimes there's a reason God's allowing us to have our tail feathers plucked. Sometimes those tail feathers need to be plucked, honestly. And you know, and sometimes there's a reason he allows us to be congested, or you know, or whatnot. Like there's reasons he allows us to go through certain times, and we have to remember during those times not to allow whether it's the tail feathers or the congestion or whatnot. Sometimes when we're in the midst of those things, I think we like lose focus on what's going on, and we get wrapped up. In fact, oh no, I don't have tail feathers, or oh, I'm so sick, or whatever. And it makes us lose our focus from what the real purpose is.
Right.
And in the midst of everything, you know, I was thinking about this last night and everything, you know, and yesterday morning as I was reading my Bible, and I don't even think I even said this to you yet, but like we lose our focus in the midst of whatever trivial thing that we're going through, because really it's trivial compared to what like God's purpose is for in our life. We have to remember to like, what is our biggest purpose? What is the bigger purpose God has put us here for? And it's not to get lost in tail feathers being plucked out or in congestion. There's a bigger reason he has us here, and that's to bring glory to his name.
Yep.
And anyway,
and you're building kingdoms, right? Like, if that's what we believe, that we are supposed to be kingdom builders, then when we get sick, sometimes you just gotta kind of coast through it, and you take comfort, and you just wait until the Lord removes the issue, whatever it is, the congestion. And then sometimes you got to look, like, what am I doing in my life? Like, what habits do I have set up? Or what things am I committing myself to? Or who has access to me in an unhealthy way, or whatever, that I need to, you know, just remove it. Just remove the duck. If I am stressed out to the max and I feel like I'm losing my tail feathers, then perhaps I need to stop saying yes to everything. Maybe I just need to say, nope, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Just remove the duck. You can say no. And if you're wondering why, go to your husband, or if you're lucky, like myself, our best friend, and just say, why do I feel like I am losing all my tail feathers here? Why do I feel? And it might be that you aren't going to God's word and you're not relying on him for strength, or it might just be that you physically only have so many hours in a day to accomplish so much stuff, and you're prioritizing things that aren't kingdom building. You know, they're just superfluous, and it's stressing you out.
Yes, I do. During all of this for December, January, there was one point where I called you, and I can remember I was telling you what was going on. Like, you already knew, but I was giving you the update of what was going on. And I was closer, and you're like, girl, you know, I'm just gonna get off the phone with you. You just gotta take a deep breath, go read God's word, stop answering your phone for a minute, and just, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. But you know, you just need you need a little bit of God here, and you need just to fill your soul back up with him, because this is taking a toll on you. And I was like, I know. You're like, okay, all right, go do this. I'll call you later. And I was like, okay. But you do. Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes like you're in the midst of it, and sometimes it's hard. And you know, the Januaries, as they say, and you need, you know.
Well, when you're in the middle of anything, whether it's congestion or a duck drama, whatever it is, no matter how serious it is, like, especially depending on the time of the month, it feels like it's consuming you often. And it's
Oh,
often
yeah.
small, like this, I mean, the major things in life, of course, they require more of your attention, but how many small things, like, I don't know, just consume us, and like, it's like we can't get past them. It's like a wall that we can't seem to like move past into something. And we
Well,
can
like
even,
I always think of those horses and they put the blinders on them so they can only look forward. It's
Yep.
like you get stuck with those blinders on because of whatever's happening in your life, and
Yep.
you can't see anything
You
but
can't.
what that problem is, or that sickness
Yep.
is, or whatever it is. And that's like where you're just losing focus about what like God's bigger plan is here. He's allowed you to go through whatever it is you're going through for a reason.
Right. And when you do go through it, and we can know this by, you know, all the things the Apostle Paul has written about his own trials and tribulations. But when you go through those things, like they should be met with joy, which is like, whoa, joy? How do you have joy through hard times? But it's something that we're called to as Christians, and to rely on the Lord and to go to him with all of our, you know, prayers and supplications and all these things, right? But how often do we not do that? Instead, we'll call our mom or we'll call our best friend, which is, I'm not saying those things are wrong, but I'm saying like we go everywhere besides where we're supposed to go, you know? Yep. And then we wonder why, you know, the peppermint shower isn't working. Well, it's because it's the wrong peppermint.
Well, and sometimes you got to have more than one peppermint shower, you know? Sometimes, like when I called you, you're like, listen, go do it again. It clearly didn't take, so go back.
Right.
You know, but like sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes, you know, you just, you go to God's word and you're like, okay, well, I went to God's word, check mark, I checked the box, you know?
Right.
But, oh, my suffering is still here. Well, you know, it probably, like, if you're still focused on, you know, and some things are hard, like you said, and they're just not going to go away just because you took a peppermint shower. But sometimes you just have to go back again and again and again to God's word over and over and over again.
You don't just take one shower. You don't take one.
Oh, I'm losing you. Are you there?
I got a phone call. Yep, can you hear me? I got a phone call too. You don't just take one shower like per week or one shower per life. Like, you take a shower every day, right? Like, you keep going back, you keep going to God's word until
I lost you again.
They're gonna keep calling me. It's my younger kids.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we should wrap up here. But anyway, the point is, you don't shower once a week. You don't shower once for your whole life. You keep going back to God, and you keep going there for comfort until, you know, the trial has passed you, or until the Lord takes you home. And
sometimes that's every 5 minutes.
And, you know, sometimes it takes a while for your butt feathers to grow back, you know? So just know that too. Maybe the duck is gone, but it's going to take a while for things to kind of shake out. And you wait on the Lord, and you're patient, and you have joy.
So, you know, take a peppermint shower and grow some butt feathers.
That's our grand solution. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.